So Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, I'm going to explain to you our elemental cost analysis for our project at Agroobazaar. So let us start. So introduction, elemental cost analysis ECA is one of the important requirements that all students of the SPSPU need to be equipped with. Learning SCVA allows students to offer more hard skills to the company they work. Our group has been assigned to prepare an SCA on single building, and we got specified contract for that certain building, which is at Agroobazaar. Purpose for preparing an NDCA. First, it enables consultant, especially QS and client, to appreciate how cost is distributed. It helps designer and clients to develop ways in which cost could be allocated. It's prompt remedial action on receipt of high tenders, and finally it assists in cost planning. Next, form in ECA. ECA is comprised of 3 forms: Form 1, Form 2 and Form 3. All 3 forms are required to prepare a successful ECA that will contain successful and sufficient information for the industry players. It will follow as conducted as in RIBA plan. First is Form 1. Next, so in Form 1, the function is to indicate the building gross floor area (GFA), analysis of the building and its price level. Form 1 contain information total project and analysis of single building in Form 1. There are a total of 10 classification of type of building. Form 1 also displays the project and contract within them. Period details and site condition must include in the explanation, the project description, accessibility to site, proximity of a building, site topographical, geological condition, omission, market condition, labor, skewness, competition, and many others more. In this ECA, it is stated as competitive. As we go through the form, in the contract particular section, it shows how many tenders participated and won by showing the entire contract sum submitted. So it includes so much information for the period of construction. Cost fluctuation is an allowance made by the client to the contractor. This allowance will attract more tenders as they are ensured free from cost fluctuation if the cost of material increase due to economic downturn. The project sum by the tenderer who won the project is replaced along with the other nearest 4 contract sum ranging from lowest to the highest. So next section on Form 1, analysis of single building, is where all gross floor area of the building parts is measured to complement the design and shape of building. This section informs us the information and analysis of a single building in a project. A project may have several buildings with different analysis. Next, the accommodation and design features are detailed out to categorize the specific rooms. These rooms are categorized into usable area, circulation area, ancillary area, internal division to make up the amount of gross floor area total, which calculations are done to obtain this area. Area that is not enclosed and the area will not be. So the functional unit is a requirement needed for a brief cost information. It is the amount of usable area that complements the main function of the building. But the area of functional unit costs are only done when Form 2 is settled. Next, we have Form 2. So in Form 2 is where cost target is set. It could also be used to make cost comparison to ensure cost does not exceed the estimate. In general, Form 2 shows the systematic breakdown of the cost of element of a building. There are more than 20 elements in Form 2. In each element is grouped under 7 groups element and 1 for each group. In Form 2, the specifications of each element are written down in the summary of element cost table. Gross floor area from Form 1 is also mentioned in the table, including with the tender date, as GFA is used a lot in this table to calculate the amount. Form 2 provides information on total cost of element, cost of GFA, element unit quantity, element unit rate, element ration per meter square GFA, reinforced concrete reinforcement, and formwork which could be used to make realistic estimate and to prepare the cost plan for new project. Next, total cost of element is obtained from the summary of element. Cost per meter square GFA is derived by dividing the first column with GFA. The element unit on the other is obtained by performing measurement of works and is used to get the element unit rate, element ration per meter square GFA, and however, this value is excluded the external work, preliminaries, contingency, because all three of them are different and cannot be assumed. Due to different project requirements, waste calculations are inserted in this form in order to show how the total value of external works. Next, we have Form 3. So in Form 3, there are many other types of information. We have external finishes, fittings, furnishing, internal ceiling finishes, and many other more. So we also have services, sanitary ware and fittings, electrical system, telephone system, and internal works, roads, car parks, and even motorcycle parking. So in Form 3, it can be referred to the list and contents of elements. The specifications are elaborated in brief description according to the elements. For example, the specification in the cost analysis in piling works, the specification must have all works related and an adjustment made to the SCA. There is 5 elements. First is time, then location, size of project, material cost, market conditions, and finally profit and overhead. So, in conclusion, ECA has provided us an alternative to cost planning and has met cost estimation and EZTS. However, few factors needed to be considered as by the QS. And ECA has proved to be one of the practices that help estimating future projects much more easier. And as a student, we must be well versed in order to calculate the elemental cost analysis. And that is all from us. Thank you and Selamat Hari Raya.